Alright, on my 2011 Honda Silverwing, I'm going to mount my top box plate, and the easiest way to do it was to pull the grab rail, just take it right off. They're 12 millimeter screws. There's one here, and then one down here, and then one over here. Again, there and there. 12 millimeter screws, and there's three of them right there. So, anyways, that's what they look like. I pulled it off because it allows me to work with the plate and the bracketry, because I've got to drill some holes through it, through the basically the top side of this grab rail. This is the top of it, looking at the bike, and what that does is this, for instance, like this here, this bracket here, okay, sits on the bike like this. Okay, gets mounted to it like that, somewhere in there. Well, you can't drill blind holes. There are provisions in this underneath, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But anyways, I don't want to drill blind holes, and there's no way to drill when you're when it's mounted to the bike. So I ended up figuring out basically that the holes that I have to drill are right here. Hang on. Sorry guys. Anyways, the holes that I'm going to drill are right here. This one, and that one, and these brackets, you know, from those, these brackets will nut and bolt to it right here. So I'm going to commence doing that. I've been trying to figure out how to set this up so it's sitting flat. You know what I need. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I did come up with something. Basically a 4x4 underneath there, clamped, and that way this thing sits flat when I'm drilling the damn holes. Anyways, I'm going to start with a small hole, because there is an indent where I drill these, and what I want to do is I'm going to drill the indents out. And that will give me, come on, that'll give me my mark to verify that I'm going to be good with the bracket mount. Right on the money, guys. That's how she mounts. Just like that. And I'll do the other side exactly the same way. The holes meet up. You know, they match up. And there is provisions. Somebody told me that they weren't aligned right, but perfect. So that's the bracket's got to be mounted. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And I'll mount this one and show you what I've got next. I'll be back. Alright, well, this is the wrap on the Givi top case plate mount on my Honda 2011 Silverwing. And again, all the holes, they lined up perfectly. They actually give you, it was really sweet, they give you an indent to drill. So you pilot drill it, you know, and then you it allows you to flip it over to finish drilling the correct holes, you know, in a couple different sizes, obviously. And then just a nut and bolt. I did take it back apart, like I showed, because I wanted to add those that rubber piece between the grab rail and the bike, or the plate, you know, the bracket, this rubber piece right here. So I got it, you know, nut and bolted down. There's some cap screws that go on it, cap covers. You know, typical Givi. They make some good stuff, you know, in my opinion. They give you plenty for a bunch of different options. You know, there's holes here. If you wanted to mount, you know, add some more holes there. You don't need them. Those 4 bolts, they're in here, are definitely plenty. That's for sure. And they won't. You can't use these anyways, but it's just for different options. You know, I'm sure they make it for several different type of bikes, but it's a mono key system. You know, just the nut and bolts go back on to put the grab rail back on. I've got this little, with the housing, this is a little cover that goes on there. Kind of makes it, kind of completes it, makes it neat, you know. I'm going to put this back on, some screws. There's, what is it, 4 or 5, there's 6 screws. They're just little machine screws like this. Or, I mean, not machine, they're just little coarse thread. And I'm using a 5/16 nut driver on them. I did put the spacers to take up thread on the back screws, and actually kind of nice, because I don't want to cut them, because sometimes you can use these threads. If you didn't want the spacer, you could use this for like mounting, adding something to it for bungees. If you want to bungee something down, you can do that. I do have, or not have, but I do want to order. I did want to order, not do, but did want to order. There's a backrest that goes on here, and you can use it. I was going to try to make it so it would be adaptable to having this already on here, but I didn't have the top case on it. You know, I just didn't put that on. But I'm not going to do that, because on the Givi case I have over here, and I'll zoom into it, right there is the it's a cushion backrest for it, and it just goes on the back here, you know, for if you want to cushion. But I don't know if I'm going to need it. But anyways, they give you lots of hardware, miscellaneous hardware. You know, here's some more stuff here. They give you, so you know, they give you plenty of stuff. Givi is pretty good about that, I have to say. Their instructions, you know, they are what they are, but she's mounted and you know, ready to go. It's ready to use. The one thing I do have to do is I got to do some wiring. I'm going to hold off on putting this back on, I think, because I want to look at, on my bike, I got to tap into the brake lights to put the other end. This is a trailer hitch wire cable, and I use it because, you know, waterproof ceiling, but I got to get the other half. I don't have the other half. I left it on the other bike, obviously, but I want to add this on there so I can get my hyper lights back on when I start, you know, my brake lights for my hyper lights. But anyways, this is the top case wrap up, plates mounted, really a no-brainer. Takes about, you know, an hour and a half, couple hours, hour and a half to a couple hours by the time you take this off. You know, drill the holes, do all the mounting, a lot of hardware to deal with. But, you know, ain't like Flint. She's ready to rock and roll. So that's the wrap of that one. The top case mount plate is mounted on my 2011 Honda Silverwing, and that's done. That's mod number 2. The first mod was the mirrored turn signals. I haven't had a chance to demonstrate those, and I'll do that, but that's coming next. That's it for now. Alright, new video. This is to add brake light power for the hyper lights on my top case. And obviously you've seen I've kind of taken it apart. Now, to get it apart, a little tricky. Had to kind of figure that one out. But anyways, there's on the body fender, you got to remove that screw, and then there's another screw here, and then there's one. Let's see here. I think it was up underneath. I think it's this one right here. Okay, you got to remove that screw, and then you got to do the same thing to that fender too. And then on the back here, there's a screw here and a screw here, and then there's these two here. They're 10 millimeter, and they're up underneath here. And that is where they go, is in these two spots right here. Once you get that, these split apart and then just kind of lift it up. Well, on this fender here, they're held in by clips right here and right here, and these are the clips right there. That's the clips, and they just kind of, you know, you got to kind of carefully pry them out. There's a couple of guide holes, guide pins, or one there and one there, and those go back into here. Those are the guide. Actually, one of them goes here, and then the other one goes here. I'm sorry, here and here, and that kind of guides the fender back on. Just split it apart, and what I did, I pried this off, you know, or not pried it, but, you know, popped it off the clips so I can expose my wiring. Now, the wiring harness that I'm going to use is, this is plugged right here. This plug plugs into here, right there. That plugs in your brake lights, tail lights, and all that, and rear turn signals. But I need the green yellow wire and the green. The green is ground. So I'm going to make a tap for that, and then make a little pigtail for me to attach to when I get my other end of that cable to be able to plug my top case in for the hyper lights. That's basically it. So that's the inside of her, frame and all. This is your computer, apparently. Must be the ECM or something there. Some other things, relays under here on this side. And I'm not sure what this is yet. I figured a filter, probably. Like a filter in there, maybe. So, but anyways, that's taking her apart a little bit. You know, this is currently your glove, obviously your glove box. I've taken out the bulb in the glove box, so the battery don't die on me. But that's where I've gotten so far. This cable right here is actually, you know, the lock for opening the seat. So I don't want to mess with that. I know they say you can take it off and all that, but I'm not doing that. So that's where I'm at so far. But again, I'm going to make a pigtail right there, and I'll show you what I've done when I'm done. Alright, I have soldered my ground tap and my hot tap to the hot goes to the green yellow, which is the actual brake light, and the black goes to green, which is ground. So And this is off the harness, heading back. I'm going to tie wrap it back, neaten this up, tie wrap this. Kind of curious what this is. There's a orange white, black white, green with a, it's like a brown tracer on it, or green as ground, and then brown with a silver. And there's another small one. And that's got brown, white, orange, blue, and green. Kind of curious what the heck these are. But I'll look them up in the manual, but I need the colors, so that's what they are. Very interesting. Anyways, that's the splice tap for my hyper lights for brake light access. So I'm going to put her back together here in a minute.